Afternoon, here I am in the basement. So I just wanted to show you what happens. So if you remember, outside there was one pipe that came in the wall here, which was coming from the pool. So that's like the dirty water, cold water. So that comes in here, and then I've fitted a 90-degree bend and then a thing that you can turn on and off. So where does it go? Oh, which way does it go? It goes that way. So it goes up and it goes down. Someone told me you should always have it so that when you turn it down, it goes off. Anyway. And then you have a hose that goes into the pump, which needs to be bolted to the ground. And then you have a hose that comes into the filter. And then there'll be a connection, a hose that comes out of here and connects into this thing, which I've already sort of started. And then eventually this thing will connect onto here, and then this will go all the way up here across the roof, and it'll go out, and that goes out to where the hot water heater is. So that like is the pool heater, and the same sort of place is where all the cables come out. So these are all the cables for the pool lights, the deck lights, the electricity for the shed, the actual heater outside, and then also the cable which is prepared ready for when the jacuzzi comes. So they all have been tacked in by the electrician, and he's been doing some work over here. So this is the board which runs everything for the pool, and the lights and stuff like that. So I'm nearly done with this now. The guy from the pool company is coming tomorrow just to double check all my connections and make sure everything is correct. So I thought I would just leave the last few bits so that he can sort it. And then all the electricity cables come along here and they connect into the board, the new board. So we've got some for the pool, some for the spa when that comes. And then if we go outside, be able to show you from the other side. So this is the tube here. If you remember, this is the one where all the water gets sucked out and there's a little filter in there, and then the water comes out of that one and goes into the first place that I showed you. So it goes in the wall there, and that's the one that goes down the wall into the pump, into the filter, into the salt chlorinator, and then over the roof and comes over here. And then that one comes out there. So I've put an elbow on that one, and then I've got a piece here which is ready so that you can connect that in. And then there's a few bits and bobs going here. I don't know whether you remember from a previous video, it's like a bypass so that you can turn it off and on and blah blah blah. He said he was actually going to build one up and bring one with him, instead of me gluing all mine together. So that saved me a job. And then what will happen is eventually it'll come in, it'll go through the bypass, it'll go into the hot water heater and back out once it's warm, and then it'll come along this pipe. It'll go along there, and it'll go into the pool, into the two inlets. So one in there and one in there. And I still haven't filled it up yet, because if the water was to come out of there, it would go down that tube into the cellar. And although I've fitted a turning off valve, I didn't know whether he wanted to do a pressure test on the system or something first, so I thought I would just leave it. So yeah, I'm getting very close now. Not long now until I think we can probably turn it on. Once he comes tomorrow, it's basically done, I think. I'll show you what the electrician did as well. So the electrician has done a few things actually. So that was the other hole where all the cables come out of, just there. So then they've got, this is for the actual heater, I think. Is that right? That one goes down there. Yep, that's for the heater. And then this one is for eventually when the spa comes. That has to have its own thingy for some reason, don't know why. And then that yellow one goes into my shed. And then the rest, they go to these places. So there's one which is for the actual spa, one which is for the lights over there, and then I think there's another cable here which is just loose, which is ready for if or when we put lights in the deck. And then there's one which comes along here and into the wall, and that actually joins into, I don't know whether you can see that. There's a switch in there. I don't know, can you see it there? Just maybe. There's a switch in there basically that is to turn the pool and deck light on and off. There's like 2 different switches, one for the deck lights, one for the pool lights. So we should be ready to go once the guy comes tomorrow. And put in a order for all the decking today, so that should get a quote from the company, and then it's just a case of that'll be delivered next week. By then the pool will be completely finished, and I'll be able to start building the deck. So the project continues.